and the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. When you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them, they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too, cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up of the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up of the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up.
At Big Bird Transportation Service, we specialize in safe, fast, and dependable delivery transportation for businesses and individuals. Whether you're sending a small package across town or need scheduled deliveries for your company, we're here to make sure your items arrive on time, every time. Our team is committed to providing efficient logistics solutions with a personal touch. With a fleet of well-maintained vehicles and experienced drivers, we handle every delivery with care, from pickup to drop-off. Why choose Big Bird? On-demand and scheduled deliveries. Local and regional coverage. Secure and professional handling. Customer-first service. Call us today at 929-329-9938 and let Big Bird take your deliveries to the next level.
Yes, you want to tell me all these years, Mohammed and his father and all of them is a part of PPP that had gone at the PPP office, Freedom House on Rob Street, protecting the PPP from the black people and PNC. And all the time, you there in there, you never see that they ill-treating black people, they killing out black people. You never see this corruption within this party. All the time, you, your family, your uncle, your father, your sister, your mother, everybody supporting this party. Y'all never see that this party is corrupt. Never at no point in time. Until sanctions start raining down upon you and you expect them to cover you, and they did not cover you. They took away all your gold and diamond license and your business license, your cambio license, and you get upset. And then you started to decide that, you know what, I can run for election to get rid of the sanction, and I can run for election to get back at the people.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su. My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
And I sat with President Ufran Ali on Saturday in a 6-hour-long meeting. And he was telling me that he wanted to use some of our athletes to push sports in Guyana, actually, while we have these legends here. So we are going to use our legends to push sport and tourism in our country going forward.
Another one, straight up, blackness aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Scott stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Ben Scott upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and pon the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal him. Who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Scott stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you're a little biased. Erection is a man thing, what happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you, thank you.
Look, good night to all of you. It's just 11 minutes after 9 o'clock. My name is Mark Ben Sharp, and I don't know, but the PPP got some of these guys. It makes me wonder what is happening at that big house, Kanji Bridge. Those of you Guyanese and those of you who know Guyana, those of you who have lived in Guyana, you understand your country, you know your culture, you understand the people of the country, you know areas, you know the communities and so forth. I'm talking to you guys right now. And there are some who are not from Guyana. They love Guyana, which is okay. But we want them to learn a little bit more about Guyana, the culture, the politics. and everything, the mindset of the people in Guyana. They got to learn those things, and then understanding will be a little better about Guyana. But look, I have some friends who went to Egypt, and they were telling me about Egypt. And so I cannot talk about Egypt, no matter what I know about Egypt, because those people who are from Egypt are the ones who got to be talking and understand their culture and understand their politics and the main hey guys. But that big house, the people from Weldad and so forth, they usually they don't say house, they say house. How many of you guys know that big house next to Kanji Bridge? I am of the view, honestly, that these guys who are part of the PPP came right out of that madhouse. Well, we've got to be a little bit politically correct and not say madhouse and these sort of things, unless you're talking about Freedom House, right? Unless you're talking about Freedom House, you go say madhouse. Or unless you're talking about the current occupants at the office of the president, including the office of the prime minister, you call it madhouse. Because look at the quality of individuals who are there. Look at the caliber. They're wishy-washy. Imagine a country as beautiful, as rich as Guyana is, and you got a bunch of mad men and some mad women. Look at Mark Phillips. Mark Phillips reminds me of a guy on the quarantine. He used to be between Adventure, that's on the quarantine, toll station, or right by that coker turning into Blackbush Polder, and you go back west, all the way past Alness, Ulverston, and Manchester, and so forth. They have a guy by the name of Sedo. How many of you who are watching right now remember Sedo or know Sedo? How many of you country people? Alness, Philippi, Kildonan, Limnere, Nurney. How many of you guys remember Sedo? If you remember what Sedo looks like, then take that vision of Sedo and put it alongside Mark Phillips. Now, those of you who know Sedo would understand exactly what I'm talking about. In a couple of minutes, I have a guy that we are going to be talking to, George Correa. How many, forget about Sedo, how many of you guys know George Correa? George Correa wants to say something. And George Correa is going to be talking. We want to hear from George Correa. George Correa has a big mouth. He's been around for a while. I've known George for about over 116 years. But we'll get to George shortly. Now, Donna Hinson says she remembers Sedo. Donna Hinson is the only one who remembers Sedo. So that means we don't have a lot of country people here. What's going on? What's going on? Nobody knows Sedo? Sedo was the first guy as little boys that we remember. Sedo was the only guy who participated in West Indies cricket. All by himself. He bowls the ball by himself. He catches the ball. And I tell you something about Sedo. Sedo had a pan, same rice bag, split at the back. And so when he bowls the ball, you know what happens there, right? And so, look, I'm not laughing at Sedo. He's probably long gone by now, obviously. And Mark Phillips reminds me of Sedo. I'm not kidding you guys. Mark Phillips reminds me of Sedo. So Donna Hinson remembers Sedo. So, all right, Sedo and Mark Phillips, and at least Sedo was an intelligent man. Somebody said he was a headmaster, he was a head teacher or something like that, and things do happen. But look at Mark Phillips, worse than Sedo, a madman. Kwame, mad, worse than, look at these people. And I say all of this because of this guy.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we gonna take care of you. Thank you. Thank you.
And those folks are supposed to be, that man is supposed to be a man of God. Anyways, George Correa is with us. Good night, George. How are you doing?
A pleasant good night to you and your audience. I'm just looking to the future to see what is coming up in our lovely country.
When you look into this crystal ball and to try to see what's happening in Guyana, let me just say, many of you who don't know George Correa, if you don't know George Correa, when he's done, because I have a couple of questions for George Correa tonight, then you will never forget George Correa. George, how have you been? George, I'm not sure if you're using a flip phone, if you're using a blue Saki phone. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you clear out now. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. How have you been, sir?
Well, as you know, I'm taking it easy one day at a time, but I'm very much intrigued about what's happening in Guyana right now.
You know, George, you and I go, it seems as though it's 100+ years back, but it's always good to hear from you. You're still in the political fight. But when you look in this crystal ball and what's happening in Guyana right now, briefly, what is your take, George?
First, let me make it clear to your audience and others who's not aware of what's taking place. You know, we grew up in a country, and due to lack of communication or international news, because we would be listening to GBS, Radio Demerara, whatever, and then listening to these political who lie to us. In some cases, we follow religion. In some cases, we follow race. But we do not look for the future because we believe in the man with the collar and tie and the three-piece suit. And if they talk nice and shake your hands and take 2 pictures, we believe that we have a key to heaven, not realizing it's a step to hell. You know? So I've been looking at this all the time. And Mark, you might remember, really, I travel length and breadth in this world, praise be unto my Almighty God and due to my jobs in the past. But when I look down to other countries, compared with Guyana, a nation with all these resources, and very much a lot of intelligent people, every time they open up their mouth, they have been prosecuted, they have been threatened, they have to run out of the country. And then they leave these people who we don't praise them, would be praised about it. And those are the disappointments that we are paying for now. Guyana never had a leader who controlled about the people, just themselves, friends and family, to support them. You know, and it's very shameful. Look, I hear many talk shows, and we got eyes. The word English in Guyana, Abi. Sometimes I ask if that is a drink or something. But I grew up in it, so we could understand the culture. Suddenly you hear, oh God, we are the richest people. Ladies and gentlemen, the nation was always rich. What we lost is unity. We divide our country because of the Indian culture and the African culture, which blend in with the British. And to be honest, between the two major races, I must say the African descendant, livable, they could accept into anything good in the language of the English. They could write it, they could read it, they could explain it. But on the other side, I be go down so. I be go down again. This nonsense got to stop because this is what we got. I be got leader now who don't even think about Abby, but just think about themselves, friends, and family. You understand? And we support them. Mark, you had a taste of it. And according to the information, if I remember right, you also was incarcerated over some nonsense. And Those are things we cannot forget. He was on the ground. He was standing up for what is right, for humanity, for justice, for equality. But these things happen. Myself and others in my family, even a victim of APNU when we support. I even spoke on APNU forum, PNC forum, by the way, sorry, by the market. I would like David Granger, Hamilton Green, and others to release the video on Vanessa soon. And so they say it was one of the biggest meetings with the PNC by the market after the late Walter Rodney and his crowd in the country. Yeah, I was even given 25 to 30 extra minutes to speak. And I point at that building, I call the Parliament building. I said that building have a lot of secret. Kitchener wish if he could get up and walk, but it's cement him down. It's a shame, my brother. We are living in America, we are living in Canada. But Guyanese must understand, our problem was created by the United States of America under John F. Kennedy administration, the late. Because of a man, Teddy Jagan as Judas Iscariot and Burnham as Barabbas. And Peter, who collated with Burnham with the 7th seat and make 25 altogether, because PNC had 18, the United Force had 7, the PPP had 22. Because a coalition take part between the UF and the PNC. But before that, if you could remember, what happened in the 60s, what they call Black Friday. Can you remember that episode, or anybody who are listening? The wrong things that happened. Are you there, Mark?
Yes, I'm here. George, as we, I just got somebody roll up with a Lamborghini basket. We want to put everything in that basket and bring it back to 2025. What is happening right now on the ground? George Correa, talk to us. We don't want to go right back into the 60s. One second, George, please. We don't want to go right back into the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, and the 70s, and so forth. We will leave that for some other time. But Guyana needs help. Guyana is in the intensive care unit right now in 2025. What is happening right now, George?
It is the fall of the empire. It's the fall of Caesar. Let me tell you why. The United States only tolerates things to a limit. Learn from Saddam Hussein, the Shah of Iran, and many others. America gets what America wants. And to make it known clearly, Guyana is a part of the United States like the Falkland on the mainland overlooking Argentina. You got to understand how we design. So whatever they're doing in the Caribbean, Guyana, America is there, my friend. They allow you, it's like an elastic, they stretch as far as they can go. But when they pull the middle, everything come back into their hands. You hear? They know a lot. So all what is happening there now with the Lamborghini and the other water Guinea, the unfortunate politics is not you and me involved in that. Because they got so much money and they're making so much investment, and according to information, and I'm going to use the legs, they are borrowing money and they are making the money on the oil according to information. Now, why Guyanese still got to hustle to go backtrack, come into this country and that country to make a living when the country have the resources? We need leaders. We need leaders who care, but every time they rise up, we kill them. Every time they rise up, something bad happens. Every time, then who we get to do it? The uniformed men and criminals in jail. But none of the leaders so far concerned about the people, only their self, friends, and family. I remember in Queens, Barrett Agnew said clearly in a meeting, he gave Burnham daughter the back of the garden and she sold it to make a nice change. What about the Guyanese ordinary people? Not family and friends here. What about the people in Buxton, Pleasance, and more, and all over the country? We don't have 1 million people. I will say 200 or something thousand people got their own house. What about the rest? They couldn't bulldoze and give the people money to build a house. Huh? And even if the bank, the Guyana Bank, the government could have introduced a program. Instead of people paying rent, they could have been paying a mortgage for a low income on the mortgage so they can push their country and their family forward. But we don't have those kind of leader with vision. What we have leaders about now, fill their pocket and foreign banks.
George, we'll stick a pin on that. Fill their pockets. They're thieves. They're pack of thieves. They're vagabonds. They're hooligans. They're Nimakarams, George. They're Katahars, George. They're Korhis. But let me ask you this question, George. And for those who are now tuning in, we have George Correa is with us. George Correa, no stranger to a lot of you guys. He's very passionate about his country. He's been in the United States, so don't be fooled. He loves the United States. George has been here for how long, George? About 60, 70 years, 80 years?
I've been in this country about approximately 40-something years.
Oh, man. Oh, so George loves America, so don't get him wrong. Now, George, you talk about those vagabonds and visionless leaders in Guyana. I want to ask you one simple question as it pertains to these people, the PPP. During elections time, they were giving out cash grants, all over cash grants. What is your take on the reason behind the PPP giving out those cash grants during elections time?
Well, this is what you call a diplomatic move. First, to begin with, the people was hungry. It's like having 10 dogs. It's yours. You train them right, but you're starving them. They will protect you. But when the thief come and start throw some steak, you are in trouble. And then later, when they get what they want and they put the dogs in the pen and they catch you under control, the dog will starve to death. So I did not respect that that was given. You understand? They should have given them land and money to build a dream house. And from there we could have been talking something different. And going to the revenue of the oil, the gold, and whatever are the resources, everyone should have get a check. But we don't have those kind of leaders. We got a young black brother in Africa right now in a French country. He is very good, and I hate to call people name on the program because he's a sword in the eyes of certain departments. You understand? Now, African nation tried him in dream. We need a leader who thinks of the people, not themselves, friends and family. You know, I don't know people think about how they think. And these are people who want to hold the Quran, one hold the Ramai. Well, the Ramai speaks for itself because the mind is mature. So I could understand that, you know. They're making some fictitious law is not right. Innocent people are becoming victims over and over. But the past had a lot to do with it, and it looked like the future is coming to where it's supposed to be anyway, because the United States is not going to take their eyes off of Guyana. Not now. Not now. Not with Exxon and other gold company from this country there. This is what they had wanted. So they use these people as what I call overseer. Really and truly. Whoever is your president in America is really the president of your country. Them boys just got a name. Check it out. You see Venezuela? You see a lot of things happening, and all these things you're talking about, this allegation on either side, I'll call it that, challenge in either side. If I was mixing with you and I kill a man, and you know that, and you in charge and you didn't hand me over, we eat and drink, you're driving in my car, you're a part and parcel of the crime, my friend. You was aiding and abetting in the crime. But I'm not blaming nobody. I blame the nation because the politicians is not your friends. Okay? That's my opinion. I've been to many countries and I've seen changes.
Thank you. Thank you, dear George Correa, 39 minutes after 9 o'clock. My name is Mark Benchop. I noticed someone in the audience is, and I don't want to go that route, and Leonard Sampson. It's not fair, Leonard, that you, that is it Leonard Sampson or somebody ask a question about whether I think it's Royston Wilson, sorry. And I think Royston is being mischievous here. We have George Coray here to talk about what's happening in Guyana now. And we want Mr. George Coray, and we'll give Mr. George Coray, our guest tonight, the respect that he deserves. And so I've noticed, George, someone is asking whether you are the guy that critic borrow money from. Now, let me say this to Royston Wilson. I don't think we want to go that route at all. But George, if you wish to respond to Royston Wilson, whether you're the guy that critic borrowed money from and whatever the case is, you can quickly answer that and we'll move on.
You know, Romans have a funny way of going around. It's like a reflection from a mirror. It only shows what you see. Whatever Royston or who's saying is what he heard. It's not what he sees. So I think he should have cleaned his A's and get those watch out. Because he don't borrow money from me. This is the third time I'm hearing this thing, you know. Because it's not that I lend to people, I'd rather give it if I have it at the time. But I won't say much more coming to the economics of it, because we love to help. Because you can't live alone in this world.
That's George. We need to move on. Indeed, you do not have to really answer. It's okay if you help out somebody when they're down and they needed some food and you provided that. Whether it's critic or whomever, God will bless you, because maybe at that time that you helped to feed him, he was down, he was out.
No,
I'm not saying that you did. Whether you did or not, you know, he's up around, he fat now, he catch himself, he running around. But we need to move on to bigger and better things.
But that never happened. I don't know why they're accusing the man or saying something like that.
It's okay, because people did a lot. They fed him because he was very skinny, catch himself now. But it's okay. We need to move on. George, what is your take? Do you see Irfan Ali as a puppet of Jack Deere?
Well, you know, between you and I have seen many circus and I've seen many clowns. And to be honest, I still feel, give him the chance by himself, he could think, but there's something holding him back. I can't understand. Because if he called himself a Muslim, following the teaching of his Prophet Muhammad, something wrong here. Something. But I'm not going to be the judge of him. Very soon you will see the result. Just as it come up now. You know they got a same fire that blaze, but it have an end. This is the end. Oh, this is the end. It is time to see. We have the problem with Venezuela. Just now you're going to hear Suriname again. You only Guyana, you got the French Guyana with no problem yet. And you're going to see what's going to come in now. Well, let me wait and see. We only hope for the best, you know, because we got so many things going on in Guyana right now. You got to really be careful in the country, because you don't know who is who. But that grant they are giving, no. Now I get to understand they were supposed to give 200,000. Now they would not give it, and some people say that according to information is alleged. Some people say that if you give it to them, they become lazy. That will not even last a week in food if somebody have 3 children. The price has gone up, you know. But every Guyanese should come together. We need a national front government. We don't need a government from this party and that party. All 6 nations must come together and save themselves and family for the future. Again, if the PNC is a part of it, and they're doing good, it's our duty to hold on together as one. If the PPP too is the same, any party, it's not nothing, but we have to get rid of this black talk and Indian talk. When you put a black leader, it's the black man government. When you put an Indian leader, police government. No, we want the government for Guyanese. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, man. It must come off this nonsense. That's not India.
George Coray is someone who tells it like it is. George, I have another question before you go, and definitely you are going to be back right here on this platform on 107.1 FM. Let me just say to somebody else in the audience, Neville Sital. I read your comment, Neville, And we got to remember, George is a fighter. You cannot equate him. It's kind of like equating a pit bull with a chihuahua. And Neville Sital, don't do that, my brother. George, I'm not sure if you're reading the comment, but Neville Sital is saying that you look like Critic's father. And now these are things we wouldn't accept.
Oh, no. I mean, listen, if he wanted to associate me with the looks of Critics, then he should ask his mother, who is his father. He might be connected to both of us if I look like Critics. You understand?
Honestly, I've known you for donkey years, so to speak. And if I'm to be a little honest with you, you are way better looking than a critic, anyways. But it's okay, George. George, do you believe that with the billions of dollars in oil wealth, oil money, that the current government or so-called government of Guyana is receiving, do you think enough is being done for the people of Guyana?
Personally, I don't know how much money they're getting, but I know according to Exxon and according to their own report, personally, we got to examine if this money is going in a basket that got some holes that it's ripping before it gets to the right prospective owners. Because I can't see a nation of less than 1 million people where a lot of them got their own house and everything else, and people still renting house, suffering. I went to some country, man, with millions of people. And government who care for the people bulldozing land to give the people house, part to build house. Every guy needs his own land and 60,000 US to build a dream house. And come off of this nonsense of day of arrival, which means you're not from the country, you're born there, but you're denying it. And this thing called emancipation, unless it's constipation. We are Guyanese. We came, our ancestors came either from Africa or Russia, maybe from the sky, we don't know. Why the Portuguese and Chinese don't do it? We must find a leader who can look through and visualize what to do and open up the country to the way it begins, Africa, India, Portugal, China, and stand with our Caribbean brothers and sisters and unite with our friends who are willing to work with us. There must be peace amongst us now. Too much of killing, hatred cannot pay, my friend. Too many lives are going. And I'm looking at the sanction concerning Mr. Amin and his father and all this kind of thing they're talking. But we have friends are bulldozing land, bombing people, killing them, but we have no reaction, not even sanction. Something wrong.
George, I wanted to ask this question here as it pertains to GCOM, because I know you do not sleep when it comes to politics, George. I've known you, like I've said, for donkey years. You do not sleep at all. What is your take on GCOM, and did GCOM deliver through Claudette Singh free, fair, and credible elections? Do you think so?
Between you and I have seen many elections in Guyana, and I have to give it to them. This was not an election, but a selection. You get it?
I get it. A selection indeed, because the deal was already set even before elections day.
You see, you got to remember, Mark, when 31 can be more than 32, this is a fight between a mongoose and a snake here now. Who outsmart who? And that 31 to 32, and members in the certain party was claiming 31 was more than 32. Made me feel embarrassed to be a Guyanese at the time, because maybe they missed something in the class. So the PPP sit down and think, we are not going to go through this time, the same nonsense, so we can take at least 5 and 6 more than the rest, and then we see how it can be divided. And what is amazing, Mr. Norton should not give up his position. If you start a war and you hold the sword and shield when you're carrying it, it is not complete over yet. Why put down the sword and shield and walk away? Something not looking right here. We don't stall our homes, but we're not accusing nobody. We want to know why. Was it a medical affair? Is it a dream? Come on. If you're going to start a race, brother, you must finish it and then make sure everything is all right before you hand the key over. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my philosophy. But we want peace. We want to see things go better. We love our country. We want to unite and put the country forward. Yeah? But I have a message, Titian. You know, there was a man by the name of Alexander the Great of Greece. He was a great warrior. He conquered many places. But when death decided to conquer him before his eyes closed, he said to his people, for all the wealth that I have gathered, when I die, just put me on a cardboard or something and lift my 2 hands and foot out and just wrap me with the cotton and put me through the blessed sea. Because when you leave this world, you came with nothing and you are going with nothing. The good and the bad will remain with you in that box or wherever they put you. So we can live with it, but nothing lasts forever. The end of the country or leadership is wrong. It's time for the people to come together, not to fight, not to loot, not to burn, and unite. Guyana is on the chance for changes. All right? I'm not going to blame the politicians. I blame our people. All right?
George, let me, and I know that I did say that that was the final question, but you know, for those of you who know George, there's never a final question for George. He's a good guy. I sometimes don't agree with everything, but George is a good guy. I'm telling you guys this. But George, I've never praised you so much in my entire life, maybe because of old age for me, man. But putting that aside, I want to ask you this question before you go. The United Force is no longer around because your friend, and I don't say your friend as in your friend, but that Paku, Mansour Nadir, destroyed the United Force.
Well, yes, since you touched that, let me make it clear. Given the past history with the coalition in the 60s between the PNC and the United Force, the Indians always humiliate and use it against the YAR. What? And I give it to you the way they say it. What were you Portuguese? Are you put on that man in power? Even do not like yourself, but they must know the YAR make everybody a shareholder for $1. One of them didn't give nobody nothing, another didn't give them none. And what they don't understand, that Barnum and Jackson were together. He was general secretary in the PPP until he get out and form his own party. But they were friends. But I'm not going to get into that because they are gone. Nothing lasts forever. But looking carefully what is happening now, the changes are coming. Nobody can stop it. So for all the money they got, they ain't taking it with them. They should start to think of the future of the generation. All those people with the red shot, the green shot, the yellow shot, the blue shot, they should come up with that bullshit and unite. We need Guyana to go forward. We have a problem with our neighborhood from Venezuela, Mr. Maduro. And yes, who knows what will happen? Now we have the United States around there with the ships overlooking Venezuela. But America should play a little more interesting to Guyana. Because what's going on right there now, man, is only God to have mercy. But the changes are coming. But I wish everybody all the best. But I'm looking. And to be fair, we don't have a court system. It's the most corrupt system in the whole third world. I am telling you that. But people must learn. Leaders come and go, but nation remain. You understand, Mark?
George Correa there for you guys. George, do not be a stranger. Let's continue to have this conversation publicly about the way forward for Guyana and about those corrupt politicians who are destroying a beautiful and a rich country. George Correa,
before I go, let me make this clear. I heard a lot of people talking about the name of the bridge by the name of Barry Jack Deal. But you have to understand the nature of the beast. We have Babujan, we have Jagan Airport, which was to Mary or Atkinson. And if we have the bridge named that now, we might want to know the Kaicho Falls might change or a building might be the Taj Mahal. Because Indians leave Guyana, came to Queens, Liberty, and take a little piece of place and call it Little Guyana. I wonder if they're talking about Dutch Guyana or French Guyana or maybe Guinea. Because I can't understand. A lot of blacks came to America, live in Brooklyn, live in Chicago. They may name a place named Sussex Street, Sussex Street, Campbellville. Something wrong here. Something. I think Mr. Ali and Mr. Bharat should invite Nudi from India and tell him unite back with Pakistan and make it India because it is one. They divided over religion, and now you have India and Pakistan. India cannot understand. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, George Correa. We appreciate your time, sir. And don't be a stranger. You'll be back. You'll be. No, absolutely not, George. Absolutely not. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. George Correa there for you guys. George said there in the end that if he offended anyone, George said that if he offended anyone, that he apologized to anyone that he has offended. George Correa there for you guys. George has been around a while. You know, George loves to call in on program. He settles some stuff. He says he didn't feed that particular MAGA dog and so forth and so on. But he dealt with a lot of good subject, a lot of good questions he's been able to answer. And how many of you guys want George Correa back right here on 107.1 FM? You can say yes, you want him back. If you don't want him back, say nah, bring him on back. Right? So thank you so much, George Correa. We appreciate it. And those of you who are now joining us, welcome to Straight Up. We're now warming up. We have lots of other things we want to talk about. Miss Haywood say, yes, bring him back. What are you guys saying? Geeta Sukrim is saying, yes. All of you guys are saying, yes, bring him back. Well, we'll go straight to Kanji Bridge and we'll bring him back. I'm just saying. George is a nice guy. You know, George is George. Those of you who know George, George is George. George is passionate about this country. George is a patriot. And George really believes that he is Che Guevara in reincarnated. But George will talk until 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. That is George. We are watching you. We're reading your comments. And you guys want to have George back until George says something that some of y'all didn't like. And y'all said, don't bring him back. Don't bring the man back. Like what you guys have done with some others, right? Don't bring them back. But for now, you love George, and rightly so. And so, yes, we will have George return so that Leon and his wife and everybody will have George right back on 107.1 FM. And I notice some of you joining us, Yvonne, Rhonda, and Claire, and Leon, and Ann Lewis, and So True, and Bingo Thief is with us, Francine Cruz. Francine may start inboxing George, hustling George. Oops, sorry. We shouldn't go that route at all. I should be respectful to our listeners. And let me apologize to Francine Cruz for that. Now, let's move on. What else is there that you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about the ministries. Some bird, a good color bird. They have green bird, those parrots. Birds now, color birds, color flags. We go on to color birds now. So a green bird in Guyana has been whispering, and good whispers, mind you, good tune being sung by that green bird. Now, hear what this green bird is saying. That the ministries are broke. They don't have money. Money in there. Y'all tag this guy Lino Craig and these other guys who are defending all sort of crap. And you ask them, why is it the ministries are broke? The PPP. Emma told me that I have 8 minutes remaining. Why is it that the PPP is always bankrupting Guyana? The ministries do not have money. They can't pay the staff. They can't do anything, but they're still thieving. They're still thieving. Hear what they're going to do. And I want to hear me out on this one here, right? Hear me out. Guess what they're going to do with the budget this time around? Because there's thieving and the thieving and the thieving and the thieving. And so they're going to prepare a budget this time around. And hear how much they're going to put this budget for. $1.4 trillion. $1.4 trillion. They're going to give billions to the sugar industry because they got a thief. They're not going to give ordinary sugar workers anything. They're going to thief because they're a pack of thieves. Jack Dale, Irfan, all of them. That is what they do with your money. They give it to their friends. They give it to their cronies. They give it to everybody but you, the ordinary people of Guyana. You don't get anything, absolutely nothing. All you get is stress, headache, and whenever they feel that you're about to throw up, they give you some cash grants. They give you 50,000. They give you 60,000. They give you 100,000, and that's it. That's what they believe you're worth. Now that Kunu Munu, who's a so-called minister of some natural real, or whoever that minister is, that spoke about cash grant and said that cash grant is bad, and in other words, they're saying giving you monies that belong to you, the taxpayers of that country. And in fact, I do believe that every citizen should receive a check of at least $100,000 per month. It doesn't matter your household. $100,000 per month for the next 20, for the next 30, 40 years, because the oil wealth is your wealth. But they take your money. They take billions of dollars and give it to their friends, give it to their cronies, they give it to their concubines, they give it to the little boys and the little girls that they are sneaky and going around with and so forth. And they don't give it to you, the bulk of the Guyanese people. They just do not do that because they feel as though they are the new kings and the queens and so forth. And they're the new masses in Guyana. And so they are thieving your money and sprinkling crumbs at you. And then the crumbs that they sprinkle at you, they have to insult you. They have to tell you, go and walk. When was the last time Barra Jagdeo walked? All they do is they strike deals and they take kickbacks and they get fat bank accounts. In China, in wherever, in the United States of America, you know how many of them own properties upon properties in Florida, in New York, in here, there, all over, with your hard-earned money. But to take a little crumbs, where's my $5,000? Oh, here it is. Emma, where's my Guyana dollars? Thank you, sweetheart. I heard you. So look at this, my executive producer, Emma Benshaw. Now take a look at this. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars. They spend billions of dollars. They drive around with your money. They live on your money. They're the biggest welfare recipients in Guyana. And then just to give you a little bit money, little bit, they said, take this, they're insulting you. They're telling you, go walk. You don't deserve $200,000 in cash grants. You don't deserve $100,000. Only them and the nanny and the nana and the chachi and the chacha and the pua, the mom and the mommy, the dabbit and Didi. Nobody else not deserve the brother-in-law, the grandmama, the grandpapa. Nobody else not deserve the good life in Guyana. Only them better. Only them. Them deserve the good life. Only them could drive in Prado. Only them could drive SUVs and so forth and so on. Only them picnic and dress up with your tax-paying dollars. And then they have the audacity to insult you. The insult, yes, I had this for a while now, man. Hey, I could really save money, you know. Really save money. But if this was in Guyana, you think it would have still there here on my desk? It would have done already. Go to the corner place, 1 bag of Polori, 1 bag of Chana, 2 to Puri, and $5,000 done. And the only reason I get to save this is because I can't spend it. There's nowhere, even if I go into Queens, and in fact, tomorrow I have to be on Queens. I'll go on Liberty Avenue and I'll walk into one of them hustle place and I'm going to pay them with Guyana dollar to see if they're going to take it. Gosh, but $5,000 can, all $5,000 can buy in Guyana is 2 bottles of Advil. Or if you get a thing where they say, Critic and them banners get 2 feathers, 2 bags of feathers. And you know what you do with feathers, right? And the money done. It done. But these pakus, Lachman Aziz, in the PPP, they're insulting people, your own money. Those companies like Exxon and them, they're carrying out billions of dollars, and they're fretting, this Paku government fretting for 5,000 Guyana dollars or 200 US dollars to give you the people so that you can make life better for not only yourselves, but your children and so forth. Is only them children could make Mabi and Swank and Kool-Aid and sell. Nobody else can do nothing because they do not support anybody else. And that, getting back to that so-called minister, were insulting people about cash grant and tell her, you go walk. Them tell her if you go walk and I not do nothing, I sit down and I allow them to insult you guys. You allow them, as we say in Guyana, to insult you guys about your own money. And that Paku minister, whatever his name is, on behalf of the corrupt PPP regime, you tell her, look, America not give cash grant, nowhere else in the world not give cash grant. Wait, man, is all those Pakus in the PPP went to I-Flat University, I-Flat Nursery School, I-Flat Primary? Well, they probably have I-Flat Primary, so that we don't want to disrespect those folks. But I-Flat University, all these ministers in the PPP are pack of dunces, Vikram, and all these guys. Now, when he said that America not give cash grant and not give this, how many of you remember that COVID check in the United States of America that came in handy? Oh, hallelujah. That COVID check. How many of you got that COVID check? How much was it? About $1,900? That's how much. 1,900 US dollars is about what? It's about 400,000 Guyana dollars. Let me just round it up to 450,000 Guyana dollars. Holy smoke. How many of y'all cash that check and walk around puffing up y'all chest? If you see me down Flatbush Avenue, boy, nobody, because I had 400,000 Guyana dollars in my pocket. So those Pakus in Guyana, a little $500 they're giving out as cash grant in Guyana, 500 US dollars. They make it feel as though it's the world. Somebody said 1,300. Well, you know, Clouds got 1,300, right? And so all across the world, good governments protect their people, except the corrupt PPP regime. The PPP regime doesn't do that. All they do is insult the citizens of Guyana. They believe them are the only one must live in big house. And the poor people must punish for a little piece of land like that. And you squeeze your house and piece of your house hanging over upon your neighbor fence and piece of your neighbor house or shop hanging over upon your fence. And that is what's going on. There's no zoning laws. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. Cowboy country. And so these vagabonds in the PPP regime, they go in like Vikram and them, they go in office with white mouth. They go in office with wapia. They go in office with nose cold dripping. They don't even know how to use a tissue. All the custom use a little rag. You know them cheesecloth where is ride bicycle long time and you tie it behind your back and you ride it? There's what they know. But they go in government with your money. They know about suits. They know about ties. They know about fancy watches. They sit down at the back of the vehicle. They might read paper, but the paper outside it down. They can't even read. They can't even write properly. But all they're looking at and they're thinking about is how to thief your money. How to destroy the country. That is what they do every single day. Every single day. But like George Correa said, is the people sit down and allow a government to do those sort of things. The people sit down and allow those people to do those sort of things in a country. Talk. But nobody wants to bail the cat. Nobody wants to bail the cat. You think George Correa is stupid? No, he's not. George talk for years. Whether George in the Bronx, George talking. Whether George in Brooklyn, George talking. Whether George in Queens, George talking. Wherever George is, George talk. George go to Guyana. Read between the lines there. We love George, but George is stupid. Good night again to all of you guys. My name is Mark Benja. You're listening to Straight Up. I'm all fired up. Something tells me to go until 11 o'clock tonight. 11 o'clock. You know, I don't cry out. I'm getting up there now in age. My day starts at 5:30. Well, most of the time, sometimes I squeeze an extra 2 hour to get some rest. Because I'm a working guy. I'm a babysitter. I drive the bus and, well, not bus. Sorry about that, Emma. Yeah, Emma say, you're not a babysitter. And, you know, for those of you and your immigration work, congrats. Congrats. I'm not going to say more. Congrats to a couple of you. Congratulations, mind you. And I oftentimes say, right, Wayne Caesar, what is Wayne up to? Wayne is busy with some serious projects. Out of town, he's traveling as well. He's doing well on his job. Got a promotion. Congratulations, Wayne Caesar. Maybe you'll see him tomorrow or Saturday, or tomorrow and Saturday. Lots of things we want to talk about. Guyana, I am optimistic that Guyana will bounce right back, but not with these vagabonds in office. Absolutely not. Melissa Jonas, how are you doing? People are saying they love the energy. How many of you guys want me to continue for another half hour? Talk to me. If you don't want me to continue, let me go. If you want me to stick on, I'll be on for another half hour and I'll tell you how corrupt the PPP regime is. Now listen to me. Donna Hinson, she remembered earlier, said, oh, but I forgot to mention, those of you who are from the quarantine area there, analysts and so forth, guess what? Arnold Hinson died. And so condolences to the Hinson's family out there at Ganis, as we call it. And then there's another individual died by the name of Frank McKenzie. 35 Village. He was a teacher, a scholar. He did every single thing on the quarantine there as it pertains to teaching. Condolences to his wife, Teacher Claudette, from Philippi Farm, Claudette Pistano. She was my teacher too. So condolences to her entire family, and Mr. Frank McKenzie's entire family. I tell you what, and come a little closer. I got to talk to you. Many of you want me to stay on longer. I promise you, not tonight though. Y'all fell for that because y'all knew that I'm already complaining that I'm up early and I got to go. But before I go, there's no parliament. There's no parliamentarians other than we got a list of individuals who should be in parliament. There's no opposition leader. Oops, sorry. Thought I had on a blue tie. I was going to say, I feel like a blue bird. There's nothing in Guyana. How the heck you can run a country? What sort of democracy is that? There's nothing really. Absolutely nothing. Queenie White? Nothing. Zion Bound? Nothing. Linda Baker says, stay on. Mark, stay on. All right. Nothing at all. And everything seems to be hunky-dory, Basil Bradshaw, because nobody's saying anything. All the talking about, we're hearing about 12 seats, 16 seats, 30-something seats, and all these things. That is all. Nothing else. There's no democracy in Guyana. Democracy is dead. It's just a camouflage. You can't speak up. You can't nothing. You can't even belch in public no more. You can't even yawn in public no more. You can't even blow your nose in public no more. You can't do these things in public any longer. The only time you get attention is when you go on the bridge, the Demerara Bridge, and you wee-wee. There's the only time Jack and all them girls from all the boys and everybody from Freedom House rush out to take picture. But Jack Deere and them peeing on the entire nation, forgive me for using that word, they're urinating on the entire nation. They're doing number one and number two on the entire nation, not just on the bridge. But everybody is quiet about what they're doing to the country. They're destroying the country. They're wrecking the country. The country is going farther and farther down. Forget about what they say about bridge. They have no vision for nothing. All these things were already conceptualized years ago. Years ago, all they're doing is piggybacking. They're listening to people's points and they're stealing people's ideas. They have no idea, none of their own. The only set of ideas they got is how to thief. That is what they're good at. Thieving, corruption, and giving all of y'all belly work. Look at what's happening in Linden. You think the PPP sit back and they're laughing. And I hope the Linderners get their act together. Get your act together. Don't allow people to move into your community and pretend as though they like you. They don't like you. They don't like you. Can somebody say good night to you? Sean? Sean is asking me to remigrate. Me must remigrate at this age? When in my young years and so forth, you know, people didn't want to bell the cat. Only a few of us belling the cat. Whilst we're belling the cat, Sean Anthony Benn, yes, I like to pick on him. Sean Anthony Benn was home snoring. He and his then father-in-law, they were home snoring. And you know, Sean, when Sean snores, because you know, Sean is a stammer man, and nothing is wrong with that, right? But you know, I like to tease Sean. Sean is a relative of mine, by the way. Y'all don't get between Sean business and I, right? He's a good body work guy. When I say body work guy, I don't want the guys from the cathedral get anyway, but he does car. He's a good guy. He's a professional. Those of you, if your car get a little scratch, if somebody scratch your car, if somebody throw eggs on your car, your paint, whatever it is, he is good at that. He will bring your car back like it's brand new. He's in South. Go all the way down in the South, you'll see a big greenhouse, and he has some big sign on it as though he's a king. And all these sort of things. He does good work. I'm giving him some advertisement here, free advertisement. But Sean, when Sean snores, while we were belling the cat in the street, Sean was ducking and hiding. And he's sleeping and he's snoring. Good night, guys. I love you all. I'll see you all tomorrow. Same place, same time. Again, y'all don't come between Sean and I. Go out and support Sean business. Take your car in the back of South, Aubrey Barker Road. Go straight down on the back. Ask where Sean Ben is and do some business with the brother. He means well. Claire Chappell and all of you. I've got to go, though. If you're celebrating your birth anniversary today, happy birthday to you. Whatever you're celebrating, happy celebration. If you're going through some sad moments in your life, condolences to you. Or even if it's not death or you broke or something is wrong, either you're heartbroken, either something is happening to you, lift yourselves up, guys. Be optimistic. Better days are always ahead. And no matter what's happening in Guyana right now, no matter what's happening in your life right now, touch the screen. Come on, because if Jimmy Swaggart had mentioned to you, touch the screen, you would have touched it. If Benny Hinn said that, you would have been rushing to touch the screen. And if the Pope who died in Guyana, that Guyana local Pope said that, you would have been touching the screen. So why can't you touch the screen if I say touch the screen? Because there are better days ahead for Guyana. All of these things we see happening now, it's just for a moment. Just for a moment. I've noticed in the United States, Letitia James indicted, James Comey indicted. What's happening in the United States of America? And then in Guyana, there are several indictments. We are living in a world of indictments upon indictments. But we see what's happening with Letitia James, right? The Attorney General of New York. We see what's happening there. Letitia, I love that speech you gave today. But I'm out of here. We'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. Again, my name is Mark Benshap, and you've been watching Straight Up, right here on 107.1 FM. Until then, God bless you, and God continues to bless that beautiful country, our country of birth, and even our beautiful adopted country, the United States of America. Mwah. So long.
London, make some noise! London, if you love me, make some noise!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more.
At Big Bird Transportation Service, we specialize in safe, fast, and dependable delivery transportation for businesses and individuals. Whether you're sending a small package across town or need scheduled deliveries for your company, we're here to make sure your items arrive on time, every time. Our team is committed to providing efficient logistics solutions with a personal touch. With a fleet of well-maintained vehicles and experienced drivers, we handle every delivery with care, from pickup to drop-off. Why choose Big Bird? On-demand and scheduled deliveries. Local and regional coverage. Secure and professional handling. Customer first service. Call us today at 929-329-9938 and let Big Bird take your deliveries to the next level.
Who's that one? Low lights and hungry bellies. 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 Who's